Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Conversations with Catherine. I am thrilled today to be talking to the woman on the other side of the Zoom camera. Her name is Carrie Rodriguez. She is a singer-songwriter, and she is the woman responsible for all that fabulous music you heard at Americano, the musical, which performed here at the Phoenix Theater Company in Arizona earlier this year. It broke box office records, and it's just terrific. So, Carrie, thank you for joining me.
So happy to be here, Catherine. Good to see you.
Well, Carrie is here from Austin, Texas, and we are talking specifically about a couple of things with regard to Americano the musical. First of all, the music was out of this world, so fantastic. And everybody involved had these high hopes for this 29-hour table read that folks were going to be doing with the show in New York, which is kind of the first step to getting a show like that to Broadway, right?
Yeah, it is. And that was going to be April 17th. Imagine.
April 17th. And so clearly that has been put on hold, like a lot of things that are being impacted by COVID-19. Very disheartening, I'm sure, but we're looking forward to that happening eventually after we're all past this. But one of the things that's also being impacted is the Phoenix Theater Company, where Americano the musical originated. And it, like a lot of theater companies, had to shut its doors.
Yeah, 100 years. The Phoenix Theater has been open and running for 100 years, and it's just so sad that in its 100th year anniversary, that was the time that it had to stop. But I know
Mhm.
that the Phoenix Theater has so many supporters, and I know that the community is going to keep it going, and I can't wait to be back through those doors when we're all ready to do that.
Yes, I think we all feel that way. Excuse me. It's the first time in 100 years the theater has had to shut its doors. So you have been so fabulous and willing to do this benefit concert. It's a virtual benefit concert to help Phoenix Theater Company, because this will be pretty much its biggest fundraiser up to this point. So tell me a little bit about what we can expect in this concert, besides fabulous music.
Well, it's really cool. So Americano the musical is a true story, and it's based on Tony Valdovinos, his life story. And Tony will be joining us for this concert. So you'll see on the screen Tony, and then you'll see myself and my husband Luke, who plays the guitar. And we'll basically sing a song that I wrote for the musical, and then Tony will talk about it and talk about the relevance of that song to his
Mhm.
real life, and we'll kind of have a discussion slash concert. I think it'll go on for about an hour, and yeah, it'll be my first virtual concert actually.
You a little nervous about that?
Well, it is a strange thing. I mean, it's when you're performing live. I mean, there's an energy you get from the audience in the room that I'll have to conjure that up in my mind.
Yes, indeed. But we'll all, of course, be embracing this wonderful music. Tell me a little bit about some of the feedback that you received after the musical premiered here in Phoenix, because it's unlike anything. I've seen it in person and I was just blown away by it. It's unlike anything we've ever seen here locally.
Hmm. Yeah, it surprised me. I mean, I knew it was a powerful work. Tony is such an inspiring young man, and he's done so much in his. I think he's about to turn 30 in his 30 years. That I knew this was gonna have that power, but I think what I wasn't prepared for was the fact that people from both sides of the aisle. I mean,
Hmm.
all different political backgrounds were both reacting in a similar way. Like it's
Hmm.
somehow, I think just sharing the story with really fun music, with amazing dance, and the personal parts of the story, the romance, everything. I think it really helped like the political stuff
Hmm.
dissolve, or at least go to the background, so that everyone could just be in the moment and relate to Tony, and come out of the theater saying, I thought this before about dreamers,
Hmm.
about DACA, but now I just see them as, I see Tony as my grandkid. Or so I think it really helped unify the
Hmm.
audiences, and I wasn't ready for the level of unification that it brought. It was really cool to see that and hear the feedback from the audience.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with that too, because it was very uplifting music, and you did sort of feel like any political thoughts or what have you that people walked into the theater with, they really walked out smiling, feeling energetic, and feeling unified and at one. Did you know a lot about the story going into your part in the musical, or did that kind of all evolve over time? How much time did you put into all of this?
Yeah, well, it's been about 3 years for me of writing songs. I've written many. I mean, many more than what ended up being in the musical. Probably at least 30 songs or 35. I don't know. One of the first meetings I had was with Tony and the book writers, Michael and Jonathan and Jason Rose, our producer. So just getting to be in the room with Tony and hearing him talk about his life was incredibly helpful as a starting point, and we just went from there. We had multiple meetings with Tony. Everybody came to Austin a couple of times to work with me. I would fly out to Phoenix. A lot of back and forth. I mean, it was a true collaboration. The book writers, Michael and Jonathan, would call me. We'd talk for an hour about what each song was going to be about. Then I'd go write it and get my guitar and work on it and come back, and then we'd talk from there. So it was a real process, and it still is. We're still adjusting and tweaking. I think when we do the New York read eventually, we'll probably have changes even after that.
Well, it's very exciting, and I cannot wait until this musical gets to Broadway, because I have no doubt that it will. This virtual benefit concert that you are doing, you do have to register for it, obviously, because it is a fundraiser. So could you give us just a little preview of maybe one of the songs that you'll be performing? That would be awesome.
Sure. I think I'll play the song that ends Act One. So
Okay.
if I can tell Tony's story in a nutshell, it's just, he's grew up in Phoenix. He moved with his family when he was 2 years old from Mexico. He did not know that he was undocumented. He grew up thinking he was a citizen, and this is the moment in the musical where he finds out, because he goes to a Marine recruiter, who then starts asking questions about his, documentation and his social security number, and he realizes, well, I don't have a social, and he goes home, confronts his parents, finds out at 18 that he is not a citizen of the United States.
Very emotional.
Very emotional. This is that moment, and this is the song he sings. And also, we have to wait for about 30 seconds while I grab my husband.
Okay, well, you go do that.
Okay.
I'm going to remind our viewers that I will post the registration information in my YouTube notes, but also if you go to Carrie Rodriguez Facebook page, she has the registration link there. You can go to Americano the Musical Facebook page, the registration link is there, and you can go to any of my social media and it's there too. Is that Cruz?
Yeah, do you want to say hi, Cruz, real quick? Okay, come over
hi,
here.
Cruz.
Hi.
That's Carrie's 4-year-old. Hi, Cruz.
Cruz.
And nice to meet you, Luke.
I'll have to adjust.
Hi, Luke. Hello from Arizona.
Yeah, Cruz, you've been to Arizona, right? Yeah, where did you go?
To Phoenix.
To Phoenix, and you saw
Yes.
part of the musical, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
The music is great, right, Cruz?
All right,
it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Okay, buddy, we're gonna sing this song, and you can go play your Fabolingua, okay?
But no, I decided to play my game instead.
Okay, that's good.
But it's not
Bye,
loading,
Cruz.
actually.
Okay, let's try
Wait
again.
till the song's over, then I'll fix it for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
And if Cruz ends up joining in, the more the merrier.
Okay, do we have a good enough view of both of us?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay, let's try. I didn't know I was a dreamer, although the sound of it rings true. I'm calling out to my Redeemer. Nothing is what I thought I knew. A family built on living lives. I was too blind to realize that I have always been a dreamer, without a land to call my own, a crooked line, a jagged border. One step inside and you are free, the other way is out of order. Now it's impossible to be the man who stands up what's right. The brave Marine who joins the fight. But then I've always been a dreamer, without a land to call my own. But this is my home, my heart, my soul. Who's to say this great country I vow to defend is no longer my own? And I'm not alone, my boots are sore. All I've ever known is I'm an American, this is my home. I can't believe they would deceive me. I trusted Mom with all my heart. Papa let me grow up believing that we belonged here from the start. How could they leave out this detail and make my life a living hell? I can't believe they would deceive me. Now I've no land to call my own. I've always known I was a fighter, and now they put me to the test. In my heart there is a fire to carry on despite the rest. They just say I cannot pass. Got no papers, got no chance. I've always known I was a fighter in a land that's not my own. But this is my home, my heart, my soul. Who's to say this great country I vow to defend is no longer my own? And I'm not alone, my roots are sown. Who's to say this great country I vow to defend is no longer my own? And I'm not alone, my roots are sown. All I've ever known is I'm an American, this is my home.
That was so wonderful. You were both so talented. Wow, 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 wow.
Thank
So
you.
that's just one song. That's just one of many that we'll hear in this virtual benefit concert. You are so amazingly talented. Just love that. Gives me chills, makes me so emotional, takes me right back to how I felt that night when I watched Americano the musical. It was really, really wonderful. So thank you.